Alrighty folks, welcome to the September 10th, 2007 edition of the ListenToUs.com video blog. If I reference any sites on this during this blog, it does not mean that Listen to Us endorses any or all of the content on those sites. But let's get right down to it. First thing we got is some news, and has to do with some put options. For those of you following the 9/11 Truth Movement, you are probably familiar with the term put options, or those of you familiar with the stock market. And right now there's a billion-dollar gamble going on. An individual or a group of individuals has bet, if you will, that the market is going to drop by about 50%, 30 to 50% in order for them to make big money, to the tune of about $4.5 billion. Excuse me. They stand to lose close to $1 billion. I've heard figures anywhere between $700 million to $1 billion. These put options expire on the 21st of September. Does somebody know something that the rest of us doesn't? Is it an impending terror attack, or maybe something to do with China? There's been a lot of talk about China devaluing the dollar, which would certainly do the trick. You can find a video under the news section, as well as some other links about this important story. It's been a pretty big news in the financial arena for the last couple of weeks. So check it out. Next thing is Value Voters Debate is going to be held on afa.net, and so far scheduled to attend is Ron Paul, Republican from Texas; Mike Huckabee, Republican from Arkansas; Duncan Hunter, Republican from California; Tom Tancredo, Republican from Colorado; Sam Brownback, Republican from Kansas; and John Cox, a Republican from Illinois. There's some telling Republican names not on the list. Specifically, those that the mainstream media is trying to push us towards voting for in our primaries, so that they can have one of these people in office for whatever the reason. Come to your own conclusions. Rudy Giuliani, Republican from New York, is not yet confirmed for this. Mitt Romney, Republican from Massachusetts, is also not yet confirmed, as well as John McCain, Republican from Arizona, and the newest player in the arena, which is Fred Thompson, Republican from Tennessee. I, for one, look forward to seeing how Ron Paul will perform in this debate. As with all the others, he'll probably win it hands down. The thing that's most exciting to me about this debate is that the mainstream media will not be involved in it. They may have some cursory coverage, but we're not going to have to listen to their commentary on telling us what to think about what the candidates' answers are. So I'm looking forward to this. It's AmericanFamilyAssociation.net, or excuse me, American Family Association's website, AFA.net. It's going to be held September 17th, that's this coming Monday, at 7:30. It's going to be a live webcast. So tune in and check it out, and I'll touch base with you guys in next week's vlog, my take of everything. Now, I need to move on to something else. You know, with the anniversary of 9/11 tomorrow, something's been playing on my mind. I've read a couple of articles on the internet about it, and I'm just going to address it head on. I guess you could consider me a 9/11 truth seeker. I've got a lot of questions surrounding the events that took place that day, and none of them have been answered. But I think the thing that the movement that's hurting the movement is the disinformation out there. You got people out there claiming that no planes hit the World Trade Center, or that a cruise missile hit the Pentagon, or that it was some type of Star Wars weapon that hit the Pentagon. All these things are unsubstantiated. not to mention the fact that there are hundreds of eyewitnesses to the contrary. Hundreds of eyewitnesses saw a plane hit the Pentagon, as well as the two World Trade Centers. And when people start focusing on these outlandish claims, all it does is make us look like a bunch of idiots, to be quite honest with you, in the mainstream media. It gives them fodder to feed on us. And I tell you what, if we don't unite on issues that we have factual bases on, I'm not sure that's a word, then we're going to kill the movement. It is just going to die because people are going to dismiss us. Statistics I've heard are as low as 51% of Americans, as high as 70% of Americans have a belief that the government is covering up the events surrounding 9/11. And with these outlandish claims that we cannot substantiate, and I'm not saying that they're not true, some of them. You know, I've heard put forth claims that there were military planes painted to look like United Airlines and American Airlines. That's entirely possible, but we can't substantiate it, folks. What we can substantiate is that 3 buildings, for the first time in the history of skyscrapers, fell at free fall speed, according to the 9/11 Commission, due to fire and impacts. Never happened before. That we have facts on. We have facts that there were secondary debris fields around Shanksville, as much as 4 miles away, that I have confirmed on the website, if you care to go there and look at my links from the Pittsburgh newspaper. But there's reports the day it happened as much as 8 miles away, and you can watch a video on that on Google or YouTube. And I tell you folks, these outlandish claims are just killing us. We need to focus on the facts that we have, not our beliefs. I have many beliefs surrounding that day, but I cannot, and many questions surrounding that day. I was in the chat room for wearechange.org, trying to watch some of the events going on up there this weekend and today and tomorrow. And the bickering it's ridiculous. It's childish. It's ridiculous. What we need to do is agree on 3 or 4 key questions that we have facts about and present those constantly. That's all we need to focus on. If we don't do it, this is why people can affect change. There are 5% of the population can affect change because they're impassioned about 1 or 2 things. And unless we unite on 1 or 2 or 3 things that we can substantiate, we're going to kill the movement. We just look like a bunch of morons arguing about everything all the time. We got the Zionists out there. We got the Jesuits out there. We got people calling Alex Jones a operative of the CIA. None of this matters. None of this has anything to do with the events that took place on that day. What matters is who perpetrated, why, and the only way we're going to get to the bottom of those things is if we work together, present a united front, and make a tremendous amount of noise about 1 or 2 issues. Heck, the average person can't even absorb more than 1 or 2 or 3 issues. And we're convoluting it with all this other crap that doesn't matter. You know, I read the NIST report, not all 10,000 pages of it, but a good bit of the meat. And we can totally debunk that report. And that's what these people are using to debunk us. You cannot cite the 9/11 Commission as a source and have any credibility. Folks, unless we unite, we're going to kill the movement. That's all I got for this week. And I know I rambled a little bit, but this is something I'm very impassioned about.